There are stories that don't just scare you, they follow you. Welcome to Horror Story, where darkness tells its stories. In the darkest corners of forgotten forests, where ancient rituals were performed, lies a curse that refuses to die. This is not just a story. This is the truth they never wanted you to hear. Welcome to the Forgotten Well. They say some places were never meant to be found. Deep in the outskirts of a small forgotten village in India lies an ancient stone well. No one drinks from it. No one goes near it. And at night, even animals refuse to come close. The well has no name. The villagers simply call it the 13th Mouth. It is said that long ago, this well was built not to draw water, but to trap something. Something dark. Something restless. For decades, the villagers performed rituals around the well to keep whatever lived inside asleep. But one night, a group of outsiders, curious and careless, decided to test a legend. 3 friends, Arjun, Mira, and Samir, were traveling through the village, searching for old myths to record for their podcast. When they heard whispers about the 13th Mouth, they couldn't resist. The villagers warned them, do not go near it after midnight. Do not look inside. And whatever you do, never drop anything into it. But curiosity is stronger than fear. And that night, as the clock struck 12, the 3 friends stood before the well, their flashlights trembling against the mossy stones. A foul smell rose from its depths. The air felt colder. And then Mira swore she heard something breathing from inside. She laughed nervously. It's just the wind, she said. But Arjun leaned closer, listening. And that was when a whisper floated up from the darkness. I am still here. The friends froze. The legend was real. And by standing there, by listening, they had already broken the first rule. The moment the whisper rose from the well, I am still here. A chilling silence wrapped around the forest. No crickets, no owls, not even the sound of the wind. It was as if the world itself was holding its breath. Arjun stumbled back, flashlight trembling in his hand. Samir forced a nervous laugh. It's a trick. Someone's hiding inside. But Mira, she wasn't laughing. Her face had gone pale. Her eyes wide, staring into the darkness below. Didn't you hear it? She whispered. It spoke to me. Arjun grabbed her arm. Enough. We need to leave. But before they could turn away, something happened. The candles they had placed around the well, candles they thought were just for mood, flickered violently. One by one, their flames blew out until only darkness remained. And then the ground shook. A low rumble echoed from inside the well, like something ancient was stirring. Samir panicked. No, this can't be real. He tossed a stone into the well. The stone never hit the bottom. Instead, it was answered by a splash, followed by a voice. Finally free. From the depths, the sound of bubbling water grew louder, thicker, heavier. But it wasn't water. It was black, tar-like liquid, rising up, spilling over the edges. Mira clutched her head. The voices, they're everywhere. They're calling my name. And then they saw it. A hand, pale, dripping in black sludge, crawling up from the inside of the well, followed by another, and another. Not one, not two, but many. Shadowy figures begin clawing their way out. Faces twisted, mouths wide, eyes glowing faint red. They whispered in unison, their words echoing through the forest. 13 mouths, 13 souls. The three friends backed away, but the shadows moved closer, dragging themselves forward with unnatural speed. "Run!" Arjun screamed. They bolted into the forest, flashlights swinging wildly. Fog thickened around them, making it impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. But no matter how far they ran, the whispers followed. Closer, louder, unrelenting. And then behind them, a figure rose fully from the well, taller than any human. Its body a shifting mass of shadows, its face an empty void with burning red eyes. It didn't walk, it floated, and it was coming straight for them. The forest was alive with whispers. Every tree seemed to bend closer. Every shadow stretched longer. And behind them, that thing from the well floated silently, its burning eyes cutting through the fog. Arjun dragged Mira forward while Samir stumbled, gasping. We can't outrun it." Samir cried, but Arjun shouted back, "There has to be a way. There's always a way." The whispers grew sharper, clearer. 13 mouths, 13 souls. Mira stopped suddenly, her eyes wide, her voice trembling. "It's not after us, it's after me." Arjun froze. "What are you talking about?" She pointed to the trees. Strange carvings had begun glowing faintly along the bark. Ancient runes, the same markings they had seen on the stones around the well. It knows my name. It's been calling me since we arrived. The shadows closed in, crawling to the forest floor. Faces twisted and merged, forming horrific shapes. Samir snapped, "We'll never make it. We need to fight." But how do you fight something born of darkness itself? And then Mira remembered the warning of the villagers. Do not go near it after midnight. Do not look inside. And whatever you do, never drop anything into it. Her breath caught. What if that wasn't a warning, but a rule? Arjun frowned. "What are you saying?" She looked at the old satchel in her hand, the one that carried their recording equipment. Slowly, she pulled out a small brass pendant her grandmother had given her for protection. What if the well doesn't only take? What if it also traps? Before Arjun or Samir could stop her, she sprinted back toward the clearing, straight toward the well. "Mira, no!" Arjun screamed. The massive shadow floated closer, its voice shaking the trees. 13 souls, and you are the last." Mira stood at the edge, clutching the pendant tightly. "I'm not afraid of you," she whispered. Then, with trembling hands, she threw the pendant into the well. For a moment, nothing happened. Then an explosion of sound. The forest shook violently. The shadows screamed, writhing in pain as chains of ghostly light erupted from the well, wrapping around the monstrous figure. Its red eyes flared brighter, then dimmed. The ground split. The well pulled inward, sucking everything back. The tar, the shadows, the creature itself. The whispers became screams, then silence. And just like that, the forest was still again. Arjun and Samir rushed forward, pulling Mira back from the collapsing stones. The well was gone, sealed forever beneath the earth. They sat there, breathless, staring at the empty clearing. It was over, or so they thought, because as they looked down at Mira, they noticed something. Her eyes, they weren't the same. Faint, red glimmers flickered inside them. She smiled weakly. "I told you it wanted me." Weeks had passed since that night. The villagers said the well was gone forever. But Arjun and Samir knew it wasn't true, because Mira was changing. At first, it was subtle. She stopped eating. She barely slept. Her voice grew softer, almost like a whisper. And sometimes, when she thought no one was looking, her reflection in the mirror didn't move with her. Samir grew terrified. She's not the same. Arjun, that thing's inside her. Arjun wanted to deny it, but then he heard it too at night from Mira's room. Whispers, the same whispers from the well. 13 souls, one remains. One evening, Mira vanished. Her footprints led back into the forest. When Arjun and Samir followed, they found her standing where the well once was, except the ground was no longer sealed. A faint crack had returned, glowing red from within. Mira turned to them slowly, her eyes no longer faintly glowing, but burning bright. She smiled. "You helped me set it free. Now you'll help me feed it." The ground split open. The whispers rose again, louder, hungrier, and the true horror began. It was the night of the blood moon, a night that came only once every 100 years. And under its crimson light, Mira walked into the village. The people whispered. They saw her pale face, her burning red eyes, the way shadows followed her wherever she stepped. They locked their doors. They hid their children. But it was too late, because the curse had chosen her. Arjun and Samir begged the village priest for help. The old man trembled as he opened an ancient scroll. "The 13th mouth has awakened," he said. "Only a sacrifice can seal again. But if the ritual fails, the entire village will be consumed." That night, under the blood moon, Mira led a group of shadowy figures from the forest. They weren't human anymore. They were the souls of the well, hungry, restless, bound to her will. She stood before the old temple at the edge of the village. Her voice was not hers anymore. It was layered, echoing with the whispers of 13 lost souls. Tonight, the well drinks again. The ground trembled. The temple cracked. From the earth, black sludge began to rise, spreading across the village like poison. Arjun clutched the pendant they had once used to seal the well. Its glow was weaker now, almost gone. Samir cried, "We can't stop her." But the priest stepped forward, chanting an ancient hymn. His voice shook, but he didn't stop. Mira's smile vanished. She raised her hand. Shadows wrapped around the old man, lifting him into the air. His body twisted, and then silence. The priest dropped to the ground, lifeless. The pendant dimmed completely. Mira turned to Arjun and Samir, her eyes burning brighter than the blood moon itself. Her voice was cold, final. "You sealed it once, but now you will feed it." The villagers screamed. Shadows flooded the streets. The well's hunger had begun. The village was burning. Shadows poured out of the well like endless smoke, devouring everything in their path. Under the blood moon, screams echoed through the night. Arjun and Samir ran through the chaos, clutching the pendant that had once saved them. But now it was dead. Mira stood at the center of it all. Her hair floated as if underwater, her eyes burning brighter than fire. Her voice thundered with the echoes of 13 lost souls. The well must be fed. Samir broke down. She's gone. Arjun! She's not Mira anymore. But Arjun refused to believe it. He remembered her laughter, her kindness, the girl she once was. And then, in the chaos, he understood the priest's words. Only a sacrifice can seal again. Arjun turned to Samir, his eyes filled with tears. I know what I have to do. Before Samir could stop him, Arjun ran into the heart of the shadows. He pushed through the creatures, their claws ripping his skin, until he reached Mira. For a moment, the whispers stopped. Mira's eyes flickered. For the briefest second, she was herself again. Arjun, help me, she whispered. Arjun pressed a pen against her chest. It glowed faintly, then brighter, then blinding. But the light came at a cost. The pendant was not fueled by magic. It was fueled by life. Arjun screamed as his body burned away, the light pouring into the well. The ground shook violently. Shadows shrieked as they were pulled back into the earth. The well screamed like a living thing, before sealing shut with a deafening roar. When the dust settled, Mira lay unconscious, human again. Samir crawled to her side, tears streaming down his face. But Arjun was gone. The villagers gathered, their homes destroyed, their hearts broken. And though the well was sealed, the blood moon still glowed above them. As Mira opened her eyes, she whispered faintly, "It's not over. The well will open again."